Good morning, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Thought I'd start things off by showing everyone the haircut that we got. Tell me what it looks like. How is it? I think it doesn't look too bad, but I'll let you be the judge. Got a bit short on the sides, a little bit off the top. Yeah, I don't think it's too bad, but let me know. Is this a good haircut, or is it not? Got a few chores to do this morning. Meal prep is one of them, and then I should be able to record some content for the channel. It's kind of terrifying, but this item's just appeared in the house. I don't know what it is. I'm assuming this is someone else's here. It's not mine, but I've just seen it. I don't know. It looks really bizarre. It's like some ancient box. It's like Jumanji. It's just appeared like a board game or something out of The Conjuring. I don't know, like some Annabelle doll or some cursed item. I don't know what this is. Obviously, they're muffins. They are mine. This is not mine. What is this? I don't even know. Can we just take a moment to appreciate the meal prep? Spaghetti bolognese, 5 portions here. I'm about to eat this one, and there is a bit of washing up that does come with it, so I don't think it's all so easy. But this will give me 6 meals now for the rest of the week. Well, 6 including the one I'm about to eat, as it is Monday. But this will last me the full week. I mean, just take a look. It just looks so tasty. So yeah, we're gonna enjoy this. Put the rest of these in the fridge/freezer, and carry on with the day. So this section is just to update you on a few changes that have happened since the last video that I did put out on this account. If you're new, let me explain who I am and what you're about to see if you do subscribe to this account. So I am going to be exploring the world for the next year. I'm currently getting ready. We are just 1 month away before I take flight and explore the world all on my own via a little rucksack. I say little, it's getting quite big now, getting a bit heavier as well. I'll be living out of this rucksack, so getting ready now, as I say, less than 30 days before we enter the month of September, and I take flight around the world. So we're finally getting things ready, really trying to make sure we're buying things, and obviously because we're 30 days away, or roughly around a month away, I'm going to be buying more and more things, making sure that I've got everything, and kind of knowing where I'm going and what I'm going to be doing. There's going to be fantastic views, there's going to be loads of different cultures, people to meet, and loads of activities to do. I want to show people and try and get people to see what there is out there, because not everyone is aware, not everyone can afford to do the travel. Some people don't know what they want to do in life, and so as somebody who does want to travel, hopefully I can inspire people. And if I inspire just one person ever on this account, then I'm happy. So that's in a nutshell what this account is going to be about. That's what I'm sort of looking to do. So if that interests you, consider subscribing and leave your thoughts on kind of travelling and getting ready for travel. As I say, this section is going to kind of update you on some of the things that I've bought as we start to get closer, some of the things I'm starting to think about, and I'm going to probably talk a little bit later about some of the worries I have kind of getting ready for travelling, because it's quite a scary thing living out of a rucksack and exploring the whole world all by yourself. I have never left Europe, so I don't know what America's like. I don't know what South America's like, what Africa's like, what Asia's like. I don't know anywhere else really besides Europe, and even Europe, I've only explored a small area of Europe. So yes, it's definitely an experience to get to wrap your head around. And there's lots to do as you prepare to travel, especially the longer you're traveling for, the more you kind of have to do to kind of really prepare for it, I'd say. Do you know, I was actually going to turn the camera around and show people, but I think I'm just going to grab it while I'm still set up and show people what we've got. Item number one, a belt with a zip. Let me explain this one. This one was actually a nightmare to get hold of. I'm going to try and open it. Belt with a zip. Here we go. Not much to really show. It's a belt and it comes with a zip on the inside. This was a nightmare to get. I bought one off Shein first and kind of got scammed. Didn't get a belt with a zip basically, which was a nightmare. So we had to go and buy another one. So I've ended up spending more than I hoped to get a belt with a zip. How hard is it to find a belt with a zip? It's actually quite difficult if you try it. But anyway, the idea of this is if I lose my rucksack, which will be pretty difficult to do given the bloody size of it. If I lose my rucksack, or I get robbed or something terrible happens to me. Hopefully, at the time, I am wearing a belt, which will hopefully have money that I fold and put in here, along here. So if I'm in a situation, I have access to money, which is ideal. So yeah, this is the belt. It's not the greatest belt, but it has a zip, which is what I needed. So we finally got it. I'll add that to the rucksack, find a space for it somewhere. So that's the first change. Item number two, item number two is this Solati razor. Something that I think I might need. I needed to buy a razor for traveling. I think an important thing about shaving and getting rid of, obviously you can see I can't really grow a beard. I'm trying, I swear, but we'll have to see what happens when I travel. The thing about like shaving is obviously I could do it manually with a razor and like shaving foam and stuff, but got to find somewhere clean to do that, and not all the countries I'm going to might have, you know, places that I can do this. So this will be a good thing to grab. So this was fairly cheap, to be honest. I think it was about 20 quid on Amazon or something. Let's get it out and show you. Sort of a bit of an unboxing as well. It's quite exciting. Bit of content I didn't expect to kind of show. Probably looks cooler than it actually is, but you know, it's pretty cool, pretty sweet. So this will be what I use. So pretty cool. That'll be what I use to sort of shave, hopefully. Let's make sure we got it the right way. I was holding it like this. Let's make sure we have the blade the right way and we take off the cover. But yeah, that'll get me. Hopefully that will kind of keep this tidy. Get rid of it if I don't want it. I need to give this a try though before, because if it's really bad, I'm going to need to buy another one. I can also buy one out there, I guess. I don't know, I guess you can find razors and shavers and things out on the street. It's not like, you know, I'm going to countries that might not have everything that like the UK has, but I'm hoping they'll have razors. If they don't, we're in a big bit of trouble. So that was item number two, change number two. Again, I'll find room for that in the rucksack somewhere. I also need to go clothes shopping, get some kind of clothes. I'm thinking of taking things like this, the Gymshark t-shirts. They're very light, kind of active clothing for things like hikes. I'm going to take a couple of shirts and things with me, but I also need to buy some very thin kind of linen t-shirts for summer. So that's also something that I'm considering doing. I'm probably going to do that this weekend, maybe next weekend. Again, I've still got a month. I'm trying to leave myself as much time as I can, because there's so many different things that are happening alongside, you know, finishing my job, getting ready. So I've left time for this, but again, something I need to probably do in the next couple of weeks, try on some clothes, buy them, and try and find room in the rucksack for those. Possibly one of the most important updates, and one that I actually forgot to show. We have a new phone. This is the iPhone 14 Pro that I've picked up. Not just for traveling, I do need a new phone, but this will provide some great photos and some great videos for the channel. So this will be my new phone. This will probably be the last clip that you see on my old phone, which is the iPhone 11, but I'll keep this one as spare in case this one goes missing or anything happens to it. At least I can ship the old one out whilst I'm traveling. But yeah, nice little iPhone. Bought this from CEX actually, and it looks pretty clean, to be honest. I personally wouldn't have thought this was you know, this was a phone from CEX. It's not got very many marks. I did have to pay a bit more for a better quality, but generally the fact this is second hand, I mean, it looks almost brand new. So yeah, very happy with that. So yeah, we'll now be using that phone going forward. So just went shopping, didn't expect to get anything, but came back with 2 items, which is great, I guess. But I didn't really plan on buying anything just yet. I bought, I guess, like some sort of linen blue polo sort of thin shirt for summer, something I might take out and wear out, you know, for those hot days in Asia or something, you know, where I'm going for a meal near a market or something. You know, it's just a nice sort of lightweight shirt to bring. And then I desperately need some shorts. I don't know if I'll take these, to be honest. They're quite thick and big, quite heavy sort of shorts, but I do need some more shorts, so I did buy them. They weren't on offer, so I may return them, but I thought, why not? They're both clothes that I really like, so I thought we may as well get them. So yeah, that's what we came back with from the shop. May take those with me, may not. Gonna have to decide at some point. Okay, We only have about 8% left battery, which doesn't give me very long to talk about this, but I'm going to leave this as unedited as possible. Just a section to talk through worries when it comes to traveling. Being 1 month away from my trip to my first country, backpacking alone, naturally there are a few things that I kind of think about. So let's talk about those. The first area is diseases. I've labelled it as diseases. Think of that as like yellow fever, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, I think it is, typhoid, rabies, all of those sorts of diseases that and kind of illnesses that people can get. So I have already got injections for all of those. The only thing I'm waiting on is one rabies injection left that I have tomorrow. Once I have that injection, I'm pretty much, I've got everything I need to get. That doesn't even protect me from rabies. This is insane. It doesn't even protect me. All it does is if I get bitten or scratched by something, it just gives me a little bit longer to get to the hospital, and they can't even tell me how long it gives me, so it might not even save my life. But when it comes down to the moment, you know, you want to make sure that you have the injection, because when you do get bitten or scratched, you're going to wish you had given yourself as much time as possible to try and get yourself to hospital. But that's not going to happen, because, you know, we're going to have a great time. So yeah, that is one thing that obviously a lot of people talk about, is, you know, being protected from illnesses in other countries. Malaria is another one. There is an opportunity to get medication for that, but I think where I'm hoping to go is probably going to be away from malaria, but we'll have to see. There's not really too much you can do to kind of avoid mosquitoes. They are going to be where the hot places are, so we'll just have to do our best. The next one I'll split into two. The first one is robbery. I mean, you know, walking around as a tourist with a backpack and a phone. Obviously, I'm gonna have to be careful waving the phone around. But, you know, going to potentially areas that are a bit more poor could result in my phone being taken. I'm more worried about South America, particularly like Mexico and Brazil, two places I want to go to. That it seems robbery is quite big. I don't know. I mean, just watching Narcos on Netflix, quite terrifying. These places that I, some reason, want to go to, I'm sort of putting myself towards the danger. Not too sure why I want to do that, but no, they're good places, and I'm sure, you know, like any country, like my own country, robbery does happen, but it's just something I've got to be aware of and got to try and, you know, be cautious, really. And in scamming, not as bad, slightly different, and sometimes unavoidable, but certain countries do have people that will scam you. There are a few areas and things that I'm wary of. You know, going from the airport to a destination, apparently you can get scammed quite easily at certain airports in Asia. Yeah, tourist scams, I'm doing all the research, but naturally, you know, you don't want to turn up and get scammed straight away. I think some vendors in India, I have heard that some street markets, you know, they charge more for tourists, so we'll have to keep an eye out for that and just make sure that we're not getting scammed. But it's hard to know unless you've been there, right, or unless you've really kind of spoken to someone who's been. So yeah, not much we can really do about that one. So this one's new to the list. I don't really worry about flying. Flights are not an issue for me. However, recent news has kind of reminded me that it is possible for planes to break down and crash. Let's hope that doesn't happen, obviously. But, you know, local flights from, you know, one kind of neighbouring country to another. Again, I'm not going to be in Europe, so getting flights with local airlines I've not heard of is a bit terrifying, because, you know, I'm sort of saying to someone, right, you fly me from A to B. I have no clue if you can actually fly. I don't even know if the plane's safe, but here's my money. Can you please get me there? And so, yeah, that is quite terrifying. As I say, I don't have an issue really with flights. I've flown loads before and I actually really kind of enjoy the takeoff and the landing. But having read recent news, it does make you question whether all flights are actually as safe as you think they are. So it is just something I'm thinking about. But naturally, there's not really much you can do in that situation. Just fly with as good airlines as you can. But obviously, you know, certain budgets come into play as well. Certain, you know, countries will charge certain amounts, and you just have to accept it or take a very long alternative. Losing items is the next sort of worry, I guess. I'm quite good. I don't tend to lose things often. However, when you are living out of a rucksack and moving around a lot and changing things a lot and buying new things and getting rid of old things, it does make the likelihood of losing items quite possible. Things like my phone, which aren't as replaceable. I can't just ring up my mum and dad and go, hey, I've just lost my phone, can you come pick me up? Because I'm going to be the other side of the world. So it's knowing what to do in those situations. Again, something to just think about, something that I'm thinking about. There are certain items that I can afford to lose, and there's other items that I really can't lose, or should avoid at all possible, avoid where possible. So yeah, that is something that I am thinking about. But again, there's not really too much I can do differently to what I'm doing now. Obviously, I have to just be cautious and make sure that I keep all my valuables in a certain place, really. Yeah, let's hope we don't lose anything, because it's not going to be good if I start losing important items very early on in my trip. But I'm normally quite good, so we shouldn't worry about that one too much. The next one, running out of money. I have budgeted quite well. I do, a lot of what I do for work involves costs and budgets, so I have planned my costs out. However, you never know, you get certain costs that will just come up maybe. Things will be cheaper than I think, and things will be more expensive than I think. There's no way of knowing until you're actually experiencing those events, really. Yeah, running out of money is something I'm going to have to monitor quite closely. Again, we want to make sure that we can do all the countries that I've set out to do. I want to be able to travel for at least 6, 7, 8, 9 months. So we'll have to see how long that lasts. I am going to do some volunteering as well, which will make costs a bit lower, because with that can often come free accommodation and free meals. I know hostels do volunteering, so that will be something that I consider. However, there is still going to be expenses that I have to pay for, things like travel that I can't just get for free. So budgeting is something to look out for, I think. Finally, I have no clue if the battery's still on my phone. I don't even know if I'm speaking just to myself or whether the battery is still on my phone. I think it's still on. What was I going to say? Burnout. Burnout is the other one. So getting really tired. I think I've done a bit of backpacking before, but very short periods of time, like up to maximum 1 week. Whereas this is going to be, 6, 7, 8, 9 months straight. So yeah, really got to be careful. Something that I kind of think will happen, but I'll have to just manage it. Maybe take days where I'm a bit more chilled out. Things aren't, moving as quickly. You'll have very busy days, I guess, and you'll have very quiet days. It's the same as life is at the moment. A typical kind of, week in the life of someone. Not every day is going to be the exact same, or it's quite hard to kind of achieve that. So yeah, burnout is something I need to be careful of. Burning out, just losing all the energy, crashing, just kind of freaking out from it being so busy. Countries like India, where things are very busy sometimes, roads are just chaotic. I'm looking forward to those, but I'm also terrified. I feel like it's going to be the definition of a headache or a bad hangover, so we'll have to see. But it's all part of the fun, right? You can't go traveling and not feel a little bit tired. So the ultimate goal is to kind of find the balance with all of these worries, but it's easier said than done. So we'll have to just kind of keep an eye on things, and hopefully I meet people around these countries and have a good time. That's the main thing. Have a good time, and don't die, obviously. I want to make sure I stay alive, so I can come home and talk to everyone about it a little bit more. If I can document and show people what I get up to, I think that'll be a great way to kind of give back, and a great way to kind of demonstrate how fun or how kind of bad traveling can be. Let's hope it's good though. As I said earlier, I have paid a lot towards this trip, so it better be good. Okay, oh god, right. That is the end of the video. I literally have 1 or 2% left on my phone, so thank you for listening. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking the video, sharing your thoughts in the comments. Let me know if I need to think about anything more or less. Please leave your thoughts. It's going to help me build a community and really get this channel going. This is only video 2 or 3, like long form video 2 or 3. I'm blabbing way too much. I literally have like 1% left, and I don't even know if the video will save. Thank you. I'll see you in another video very, very soon. 30 days away from traveling, so this is going to be good. Very much looking forward to it, and hopefully you will join me on the journey. Cheers. Bye bye.